Welcome back, everybody. So, gonna do something a little different tonight. I've been checking out this one guy's listings on eBay for a while. He sells like a binder of unique cards and then a bunch of decks and stuff like that. And I'll put his name in the description. I can't think of it off the top of my head because, you know, it's late. I work all day. Yeah, tired. So I don't expect there to be much value in here, but we'll see. I paid $40.50 after shipping for this lot. It comes with a binder and then a bunch of cards that were packed very weirdly. I packed them in like these just bags of rows of cards, and then you wrap newspaper around these and then put them all in a big box and then put some newspaper around the binder and then put that in there. So here's what we get. So this one, obviously these go for all kinds of different prices because they're all auctions, but this one had some older cards in it, which is kind of cool. So it looks like we got a Meyer Moon Vessel up here. We got a revised Ornithopter, 4th edition Fountain of Youth. I don't expect there to be a whole lot of value in here, especially considering if you look at the cover of the binder, it says 99-cent binder, or binder 99 cents. I don't know if they paid 99 cents for the binder or this was a 99-cent card binder at a card store or something. But there's your first page. Oh, they're double-sided. This is one of the biggest reasons I was like had to get it is the Curd Ape, the revised Curd Ape. I love the Curd Ape. Curd Ape was one of my favorite creatures from day one. I absolutely love that card. It's a 1-drop red, but as long as you got a forest in play, it's a 2/3, which is awesome. So on the first turn, you drop them with a mountain. Second turn, you play a forest, and you got a 2/3. Then you got a Wild Cantor from a Guild Pack. These are all sets I'm a lot more familiar with than the new stuff. So Leave No Trace from Ravnica, Crypt Rats from Visions, Bubbling Muck from Urza's Destiny, I believe that is. One of the Master sets. We got a Merchant Scroll from 8th edition. We got a good old Goblin Grenade, my favorite card from Fallen Empires. Sacrifice a Goblin, deal 5 damage to any target for 1 red. Great in a Goblin deck. I used to blow up Goblins on a regular basis with that card. So over here we got Violent Outburst from, these look like some Alara block cards. I'm not too familiar with those sets. I wasn't playing at the time. The Serene Heart from Mirage. But this is one of the other reasons I wanted to get this, because there's actually an Arabian Nights Desert in here. And I kind of assumed it would be pretty beat up, and it looks pretty beat up. It is, yeah, I don't know if you can see that too well. Yeah, it's hard to see on the camera, but yeah, there you go. You can see that corner's pretty heavily played there. There it goes. Focus, focus. So, pretty heavily played card, but, you know, most of these Arabian Nights cards are. But, Original Desert, I had a stack of those in my collection when I sold it, of course. There's also an original foil from Prophecy. I really like this card because it's a counter spell that you may discard an island and another card from your hand instead of paying its cost. I love that because when you're playing blue, the opponent will tap you out just so they can try and cast something important. This guy, it doesn't matter if you're tapped out. You just discard an island and another card and you can counter any spell. So I love the alternate casting cost cards. I'm not sure if it's worth anything. I'll throw it under the scanner and we'll see if the scanner will scan it. Yep. 70 whole cents. So not really worth anything, but really, really cool card. It's worth more than 70 cents to me. All right. So on the next page here, not much, just a lot of commons, some revised commons, a couple Death Wards and a Disenchant, some Ixalan, some Theros. There's an Oblivion Ring, uncommon from M13. Yeah, not much of anything in here. It's all pretty much just commons. They really only showed a couple pages, and that was the first couple pages with all the older cards, make it look all attractive, you know. Looks like this looks like a 5th edition, I'm guessing, Soul Barrier. It's kind of bright colored, so there's a possibility it might be one of the summer sets or something from back then, but I'm not certain. I wasn't playing at that time when they were doing those summer set things. Looks like a 5th Dawn card, a Champions of Kamigawa, Freed from the Real, which is a card that I love. So this is another card that caught my eye. I really love this because there's all kinds of setups for shenanigans. Because you can pay 1 to tap an enchanted creature or pay 1 to untap an enchanted creature, blue. And it's infinite, so it doesn't require any, you can do it over and over and over. So you can do infinite combos with that card. I'm working on an infinite combo with that card just to have some fun with shenanigans because I love infinite combos and shenanigans. So a bunch more common stuff. There's a Word of Undoing from Ice Age down here. What else we got? Some Guild Pack, Masters 25, Ixalan. A lot of this stuff's newer. Oh, here we go. Here's some older cards finally. So looks like we got, that's revised here. And then we got some 4th editions. The Pestilence and Kumbah Witches. And in case you're curious how to tell the difference, we'll pull a couple of these out and I'll show you. So, if you weren't around back then, so this is a revised card. You can tell because there's no date on the bottom. Revised and Unlimited and Beta and Alpha didn't have dates on the bottom. Beta is all black border. Alpha was black border but with rounded corners, much more rounded corners. Unlimited was very, very kind of blurred and over inked. Revised looks a lot more precise, but not quite as colorful. The Unlimited cards were definitely more colorful. If I come across one, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's a 4th edition. Now, 4th edition looks more colorful like Unlimited, but Unlimited didn't have mana symbols in the text at all. They just had text, literally just text down here. But you see, this is a 4th edition. You can tell because it's got the date underneath the artist. Revised, no date. 4th edition date. 4th edition says 1995. I'm pretty sure 5th edition says 1997 on it. So there you go. There's a quick little history lesson for anybody curious about the older sets there. Now that I wasted a whole bunch of your night. So we got more revised. So we got revised, 4th edition, 4th edition. I think this one might be 5th. Let me see. Can't see. It's kind of dark print here. Come out, come out. Come out, I say. This one, wow, it's really, really small print. I can't see. You see the camera sees it? Yep, 1997. Okay, so this is a 5th edition. It says 1997. It says 1995 down there on the date stamp. Orcus Farmer. Not worth anything, but yeah, just to show you. Disintegrate. I love Disintegrate because this was the first. I think this was the first exile card damage spell. You remove it from the game entirely, as in exiling it, if you kill something with a Disintegrate, which stops all that graveyard stuff. Okay, these two up here are actually interesting. Cool. So I actually get to at least convey a little knowledge to you guys. So you see we got a couple different symbols up here on the white border cards. And you'll also see that this one, the print is in the middle on the bottom. This one is off to the left. So this, with the original Legends logo on it, but with the white border, is from a set called Chronicles, which was the earliest reprint set that pissed off everybody in the community. And it's still not worth much by comparison. And then this is an Incinerate, which again, this was the lightning bolt that creatures couldn't regenerate from, but it was 2 costs. This was the first more expensive lightning bolt. This one, I believe, originally debuted in Ice Age, because they didn't put the lightning bolt in Ice Age because it was already considered kind of powerful back then, although they kept printing it in this core set for a while longer. But this D symbol, this is actually the Deckmaster symbol. So this is from a collector's tin thing we had back then called Garfield and Finkel set. So Richard Garfield and the champ at the time, John Finkel, I believe his name was, they actually built 2 decks to play against each other, and they had this big collector's tin that said Deckmasters on it, and it said Garfield and Finkel limited edition or collector's tin or something like that on it. And so all the cards had that D symbol on them within that set, and they were all white bordered cards. So All right, here's our next page. We got a 4th edition Bloodlust. Bloodlust was originally in Legends, then they reprinted in 4th edition. Great card. Yeah, it's +4, -4, but it won't kill the creature. It says if this reduces the creature's toughness to less than 1, creature's toughness becomes 1. So you could put this on a 1/1 and make a 5/1 and just wreck shop. Good old Fallen Empires. Got Goblin War Drums down here. This Crown of Flames is from Tempest. Basically gives your creatures fire breathing. It's an enchantment that gives them fire breathing. So, nothing exciting. Down here we got a 4th edition Atog. Good old Atog. He's been around since the early days. Oh, this is a German one. Yeah, German one. Verschwörung uns Atog. 4th edition Fisher. We got some more Chronicles up here. I don't know if you can see with the sleeves, but these have the Arabian Nights logos. It's because those were originally Arabian Nights cards. And then this one has a dark logo, originally printed in the dark. Good old scavenger folk. We go on the next page. There's a Mirage card, a Tranquil Domain. There's really no value here. I'm just hoping I give a little value in some of the explanations. Talking about some of the old sets to you guys. No value for me. Land of War Elves, 4th edition, or 5th edition. It says 1987 on it, so it's 5th edition. Good old Lanny. Good old Lanny. And then here's another card that caught my eye. Another reason I decided to throw down on this one, even though there wasn't a lot of value that I saw in this. This card right here, Orcus Lumberjack from Ice Age. This is probably my favorite card from Ice Age, or at least one of my favorite cards from Ice Age. It's a 1-drop 1/1 red. However, you tap it, sacrifice a forest to add 3 mana in any combination of red and or green to your mana pool. So play this as an interrupt. You guys probably have no idea what an interrupt is. There used to be interrupts and instants, and interrupts were actually faster than instants in the first sets. So and then they changed the rules and made everything the same speed as far as fast effects. So yeah, I believe, if I recall, it was interrupts, then instants, and then special abilities were slowest. But I could be wrong about that. It's been a long time since those rules existed. I think they stopped that in like 94 or 95. It was around this time. So yeah, this guy right here, if you're playing a red-green deck, you can sack a forest to turn it into a Black Lotus, basically, but you can get any combination of red and or green mana to your mana pool. So, awesome card in red-green decks. I used to run a lot of red-green kind of speed decks, I call them, back in the day. Just, you know, super fast aggro, red-green, kind of mana ramp up real fast and just do a lot of damage real quick. So anyways, that's what's in the binder there. Nothing really exciting at all. Probably toss that off to the side so it doesn't interfere with us here. Breaking into the cards. Now let's see what we get in these stacks of cards. Not sure what's what in here. He just had a bunch of stacks of cards. Some of them are, I think, like this one's wrapped independently, so it's probably a deck of some sort. I don't know. There's some random stuff in here. Looks like a couple more individually wrapped ones. So I think these, because I think the guy builds commander decks and sells them. So I think these might be kind of pre-con kind of decks made by him. We'll see. We'll see what we get in here. No idea. Total grab bag type stuff. Probably going to be nothing but a bunch of commons, but we'll see. Apparently a bunch of damaged commons. He didn't package this very well. This is an old Nemesis card. Bilbay's Percher. But yeah, the whole stack is like warped from the way he shipped them. So I'm not very happy about his shipping. There's a whole playset of those Perchers apparently. But they're all damaged. So there's that. All warped beyond belief. We got a couple of revised spheres. As you can see, the consistency was not really a whole lot better back then than it is now. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but like this one's way lighter than these. So they were still pretty inconsistent even back then. A couple Urza's Saga Wirecats. Place of those. Patagia Golems. Patagia Golems? Patagia, I think it's Patagia Golems. Place of those. This must be some kind of attempt of a deck. Rod of Ruin, an Arcane Spyglass, Phyrexian Hulks from Tempest. That one's really heavily played. Urg Raiders from 4th edition. And we got another, some Urza Saga, Hopping Automation uncommons. Some Mercadian Mask, Henge Guardians. Urza's Destiny, Brass Secretaries. Ticking Gnomes. I'm thinking this might be an artifact deck from Urza's Destiny that are heavy play. Can you see that? Heavy play. Whew. That's probably, almost be considered damage probably. Ticking Gnomes. We got some Coiled Tin Vipers from, that was, yeah, you know, Tempest. There we go. Stench of Decay from Alliances. Alliances did the multiple artwork for the same card still. I thought it was a terrible idea, but... And of course, the sets that did that, not very valuable. Alliances is only valuable because of Force of Will. If it wasn't for that card, the Alliances would probably be pretty much Fallen Empires 2.0. There's a couple other good cards in there, but really Force of Will is the only thing keeping the value of that one up. Manus Engine from Urza's Destiny. Speaking of Fallen Empires, Necroites from Fallen Empires. There you go, see? Multiple artworks for the same exact card. Kind of silly, I think. Should have just used multiple art for multiple cards. And a bunch of swamps. Okay, so I guess that's kind of a black and artifact deck that he made for whatever reason. I don't see anything of any effectiveness in there. Not a deck I would build, but, you know, not everybody's a great deck builder, I guess. I don't even know if I'm a great deck builder. Goblin Firebugs from Nemesis? No, not Nemesis. Legions. Then Onslaught, Nosy Goblins. We got some Morningtide, some Scourge, Nemesis. There's a couple of Raging Spirits from Mirage, and they are completely destroyed. Look at that. Can you see it? Yeah, that one's in really rough shape. It looks like it's actually bent a little. Might have been folded in the middle. Yep, yeah, it was folded in the middle. See it? Yep, it's actually got a tear in it. So those are damaged cards, not even playable. Ice Age, Mountain Goats, more Mirage, Lightning Reflexes. Not a terrible card. And you can see the difference in the coloring. Can you? See if I can line them up here. Yeah, see how the last one's a lot darker than the one before it. Ikundu Cyclops from Mirage. Dwarven Vigilantes from Visions. Balduvian Barbarians from Ice Age. I said barbarians, didn't I? Bavarian Creams. Barbarians is what I meant to say. Grizzled Wolverine from Ice Age. Those were Scourge. Morningtide. Visions. Raging Goblins. Scourge. And then a bunch of mountains. I guess that's kind of a wannabe mono red deck there. Oh yeah, I forgot to sort out these cards as I was going through it, didn't I? I started and then I forgot. I just kept kind of cycling through. I'm sorting out the cards that don't have rarity symbols because I think Urza's was the first ones that had rarity symbols. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I'll think of it in a minute here. Invasion? Urza's? I don't know. So here's some more Chronicles. They got the Legends logo on them, even though they're white border. So there's some more Chronicles there. Visions, Remedies. This is Plane Shift. Oop, I just scanned a mountain. Oops, my bad. Plane Shift? Yeah, Plane Shift. Nemesis. Mirage. Visions. 8th edition. So 8th edition had the colors for the symbols there. Fallen Empires, a good old Homerid Warrior. Homerids never took off, I don't know why. Ice Age with more damaged cards. Ugh. Yuck. Anyway. Hope Charms from Visions. Parapet from Visions. Visions didn't have much of anything. Visions had some really good tutors in it. So that's the only thing keeping the value of that set up. Urza's Destiny, Scourge, Onslaught, and then a bunch of islands. And planes. So basic lands. Alright. So not much of anything in there so far. Just some very bad packaging and a bunch of bulk is pretty much what I'm expecting out of this collection. I'm going to try and speed it up a little bit now that I've showed most of the set symbols. Probably try and speed it up so I can get through this a little faster and see if there's anything of any value, but I doubt it. This looks like all just bulk. There's some uncommons, and some more warped cards. Some more extremely warped cards. I don't know if that's from the shipping or if they were just a bunch of warped cards. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of damage. So these are probably just stuff that he's found, just collections he's bought and kind of pulled out all the bulk and thrown it in a pile and then just kind of gone through and sorted them out a little bit to make kind of pseudo decks. But I don't think there's probably going to be anything of any value in here. It looks like all just bulk. Yep, little wannabe decks. Let's go through a pile of cards that's not one of these little pre-con decks here real quick. See if there's anything in there. Again, I'm just expecting a bunch of bulk. Here's War of the Spark. Yeah, so newer bulk. Yeah, just literally a giant War of the Spark bulkiness. There's a uncommon. Another uncommon, Chandra's Triumph. Chandra? Is it Chandra or Chandra? Let me know how you guys pronounce it in the comments. Another Triumph. Fun Passion. Yeah, so, Hellion, couple uncommons. But, yeah, I think most likely all we're going to find in here is just common and uncommon bulk in this collection. So, probably, mostly a waste of $40. I don't think we... Oh, here's some Battle Bond stuff. A couple uncommons from Battle Bond. At least that's some stuff that I don't have because I didn't get any Battle Bond at all yet. Battle Bond's kind of pricey, and it's a set that I'm just unsure of. Let me know what you guys think about Battle Bond. Is it worth me buying? Should I buy some Battle Bond, or should I just not waste my time? Is it junk? Is it cool set? I believe it was more multiplayer oriented. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any good cards. I don't really hear about a lot of, oh, that awesome Battle Bond card, you know? I don't really hear much about anything like that. So I'm not sure if there's anything good in the set. And there's just so many sets that I missed. I'm just trying to, basically I'm trying to right now more so just catch up on the current sets and kind of grab a bunch of those. And, you know, open a lot of it to build up my collection and then sit on the rest to hopefully get some returns down the road investment-wise. But I'm opening a lot of the current stuff and selling a lot of singles and opening a lot of trying to open some of the older stuff too. But, you know, anything that obviously like I picked up a box of Apocalypse for like, I think I got it for like $250, which was actually a pretty good deal because they tend to be around that $3 range. I'll see them for $250 once in a while, but picked one up for $250. But the problem is there's not even close to $250 worth of value, even if I pull all the best cards in the set, you know, in that box. If it's just like a godly box, I'm still not going to get $250 worth of cards out of it. So there's literally no point in opening it. So it's just one of those things that, you know, the older product is really good for investing in, but if you want cards out of the older sets, or just single cards to build a deck, I would not overpay for a box just to kind of try and pull those couple cards you were going to want. I would buy singles. Singles are definitely the way to go with the older sets. Current sets, you know, bust some boxes, and because odds are the single prices and the newer sets are eventually going to go up, you know. So I would buy some of the newer stuff. You can buy boxes and have fun busting packs and opening them and stuff because they're not overpriced. But anything past a certain kind of degree of age versus popularity kind of equation, you know, you don't want to really spend money on, because if you open the product, you're not going to get your money out of it. You're basically throwing away money by opening it. Like even Dragons of Darkir, which is you can usually find over about 115 to 120 a box right now online on the Bay of E. You know, I bought a box for I think 115. Well, like last month, and I opened it on the channel, and I got like $80 worth of cards out of it. So I lost a bunch of money just by switching to Geico. No, by opening that box. So yeah, I don't recommend buying older boxes and opening them to try and get cards you need. I would buy older boxes to sit on and hope that they go up in value. If they're popular sets, they probably will. They're not going to go down. They're going to keep going up on sealed product. But, you know, as long as there's, you know, people looking for that old stuff, you know, I mean, if, honestly, there's a lot of talk of LGSs going out of business, and if that happens and it all converts over to kitchen table magic, those older boxes prices are going to plummet, because kitchen table players aren't going to invest thousands of dollars in an old sealed product. It's just not going to happen. They need a card for a deck. They might get online and buy a single, but they're not going to spend that kind of money on the game. Kitchen table players just don't spend that kind of money on Magic. They pick up a couple packs here and there, and that's about it. I've never seen a kitchen table player go out and buy like expensive boxes, you know, just to get cards to play with. It's just not something that's very common. You know, really only the people that go play more competitively and go to Friday Night Magics and stuff like that, and have DCI numbers and play in tournaments, and, you know, dream of going to Masters to at least just to be part of it. Those are the guys that are going to spend big money, and then investors will spend big money on old boxes and collectors, you know, but the kitchen table players aren't going to do that. So if the LGSs go away, a lot of the players are just gonna be kitchen table players, and a lot of the prices are probably gonna plummet. So, you know, the people just won't be buying those type of cards anymore. Suspension field, is that worth anything? I think it might be. So I hit a big old glob of random uncommons here. Most of them don't look like much, but there might be something interesting in here. There's an old Legions uncommon. So, suspension field, I wanted to think that might be at least a few cents. There's an old Exodus card. Exodus is funny because it looks like the mana symbol, or the set symbol would be colorized, and it's not. They're all like that, so that could be a rare, I don't know. So, yeah, it's kind of weird with the older sets. You're just not sure which cards are what. Yeah, I don't think there's any value in here. I'm probably just... There's a bunch of uncommons, but I'm not really seeing anything that's jumping out at me. Of course, I don't know these middle kind of era sets very well, so I could be wrong. I could be like passing by $10 uncommons and not even know it. Something tells me, though, that this guy wasn't going to do that and put a bunch of expensive cards in here, because he's obviously gone through all this stuff. I mean, it's all gone through. It's all kind of somewhat organized. There's nothing really. Yeah, I think this is just kind of a big waste of money, to be honest. I thought he said there was going to be some rares in here. There's one of the Kaladesh ones with some energy counter stuff. I wasn't around during Kaladesh, so I don't know about that energy counter thing I hear. Everybody says it's like super broken and it was like awesome, but I wasn't around, so I don't know what it's all about. All right, I saw some stuff in sleeves in this other box here, or this other kind of wrapped up thing, so let me kind of go through that and see if there's anything interesting. I might just cut the video because it's now a half an hour and there's literally nothing in this collection that I'm seeing here. But I do see some sleeve stuff in this one. You know, there's a lot of Modern Masters or Modern Horizons in here, but I think it's all just the bulky garbage stuff. Commons, uncommons, nothing fancy. Oh, there's a Minorak Harpy. That's the one you can only get in the Planeswalker decks. So there's that. There's some Theros. Oh, here we go. That's right. I forgot about these. So this is one of the other reasons I bought I wanted to buy this. is that there was a full set of the Tron lands. And it says pour set on it, and sure enough, they are horrible, horrible quality. They are beat to hell. Oh my lord. Yeah, I mean, they looked much better in the photos, obviously. But these are definitely heavy, heavy play. Can you see that? Look at the corners and the edges. Ugh. They are poor quality for sure. Yeah, he didn't really list the fact that the Tron lands were damaged, heavy play. You can see this one's actually faded on the back. Looks like somebody left it out in the sun. But there is a complete set of the, these are the Chronicles Tron lands. They're not the original Antiquities. They'd be black bordered if they were. But there is supposed to be a full set of them in here. So there's that. Very poor set indeed. Yeah, this little sleeve wasn't in the photos. Nice, buddy. Nice. So, I don't think I see anything else jumping out at me. What's in this little stack here? Try one more little stack, and if I don't find anything, I'll probably just cut video. If I don't see anything that looks like it might jump out at me as being something. Oh, look, comments. Comments from M20. Yay. Just what I was hoping for. My professional opinion of this guy is these are all heavily gone through and searched. It's just all bulk. There's nothing in here. Yeah. Basically just spent $40 on bulk. So there's some older bulk, but it's basically all just bulk. I see a white border in here somewhere, I think. Yeah, just bulk. Nothing exciting. Nope. And most of it's damaged. A lot of these cards are heavily damaged. So, uncommon, common, bulk, heavily damaged. Couple older cards that make me reminisce about the cool old days of Magic. But, yeah, I'm not even going to bother going through the rest on camera because it's just going to be a lot of the same, I think. I'll finish going through these after I cut the video off. I just don't want to waste your guys' time with this garbage. Hopefully you got a little knowledge out of how the old set symbols are and how to spot the older cards from different sets. And always be careful with online auctions and stuff because you're going to get very damaged, poor quality cards if you get anything good at all. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you picked up any of these auctions that were any good or anything. If you got any good deals on old sets or anything, any sellers on eBay actually sending you your money's worth, or if they're just sending you a bunch of bulk garbage like this. So I'll probably have some other video suggestions up here in the corners. Please check some of those out, and we'll see you in the next one. I really appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching. Thanks, guys. Bye.